Hey, kings and queens, and everything in between. Welcome to this episode of A Sip with Samad podcast. And I'm your host, Samad. Let's jump in.
Hey y'all, welcome to A Sip with Samad, or maybe accurately, welcome back. I've been thinking a lot about this show and what it's becoming, and not just what I want it to be, but more so about what it naturally can become if I stop trying to force it into a damn box. Honestly, I think what this sort of season is about is just that. Um, Not perfection, not performance, not pretending to sort of have all the answers, but I just wanna have conversations. I wanna tell stories, I wanna hear thoughts, I want to, um, discuss questions and share perspectives. I wanna sip. So, when we first started this podcast, it was different. It was a different season of my life. I always like to say that this show was an identity crisis project. It was a different version of me. And so over time, that version has definitely sort of morphed because life kept happening. Careers continue to advance. I'm now a father. I'm now married with children, right? I've gone through grief. I've gone through growth. I've gone through a little burnout and some joy, like all of it. Um, and I think that somewhere in the middle of all that, I realized that it's not just about sort of creating something that you think people want to hear. I think people just will naturally learn from each other. So I wanted to create a space where I think we can have conversations that um, I, as a man, and men in general, may not always have the space to have publicly, right? Space for Black men, space for queer men, space for fathers, and space for people trying to figure life out in real time, and space for nuance, right? Because the truth is, most of us are carrying things that we don't always have the language for. And I think that that's why storytelling of this type matters more now than ever. Because I believe that sometimes hearing somebody else say the thing out loud actually helps you realize that you're not so crazy for thinking about it or feeling it or questioning it even. And so this season, we're leaning into that. This show is still evolving. And so uh, there's one thing I know for sure, and that is this. I want this to feel human. I don't want it to feel overproduced. I don't want it to feel like it's polished to a T. I don't want this to feel like a TED talk, even though sometimes I get a little preachy and it just might feel that way. I want it to feel like real people sitting down and being honest. And so there'll be some episodes where we'll have guest conversations, not interviews, conversations. There'll be some episodes where it's just me thinking out loud while drinking an espresso, like I am right now. Excuse my sip. And there'll be some episodes where there might be a crying baby in the background because that's literally my life right now. And honestly, I think that that's okay. Once again, that's something that we don't necessarily get a chance to see and experience. And so that's what this platform, that's what this show is really about because life doesn't pause so we can create perfect moments. I think we have to get out of that mindset is that everything is going to look perfect. Sometimes the story is happening while the baby is crying or while I spilled my damn coffee or while I'm tired or while I'm trying to figure it out. And maybe that's the platform that that we're really becoming. a living archive of what it's like to become a human being, an adult. This is me chronicalizing my adultness, right? But not just for me. I think this is for people who join in and listen as well. And so this season, we'll be talking about masculinity, we'll be talking about identity, fatherhood, relationships, money, power, friendship, desire, purpose, success, mental health, Blackness, queerness, and what it really means to grow into yourself while the world keeps trying to define who you are first. And I don't necessarily want every conversation to end with an answer, and it's not going to be serious all the time. I just want to go ahead and put that out there. Sometimes I just want us to sit with the question. So, whether you've been here since day one or this is your first time listening, I appreciate you for joining in and for taking a second to slow down, for listening, for thinking with me. So grab your coffee or your drink, take your walk, sit in your car a little longer before you go inside the house. And welcome to this next chapter of a Sip with Samad podcast. I think it's going to be a good one. Seriously, I do. And I really appreciate this audio only aspect because I think that this is going to be a little bit more of an intimate conversation. So, all right, y'all, I'm out.